E3 is right around the corner, and I'm so excited. I'm headed out to LA once again this year. Probably going to make some video content while I'm there, cover some games, do some reaction videos, all that stuff. But in the meantime, I have to do some prediction videos. Those are my favorite things to do, so expect a lot of them within the next couple of weeks. I hope you don't mind, because I honestly have a lot of fun predicting stuff. But I plan on bringing on some other Nintendo Enthusiast staff from the website to do some discussions with me about these upcoming games that are probably going to be at E3. But without further ado, here are some bold predictions I have for E3 2019. The first prediction of today has to go to the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, people have been clamoring for this trilogy to make its way to Nintendo Switch, and honestly, it would be the perfect thing for Nintendo to do, given that Metroid Prime 4 is in development, and we're hopefully going to get it sometime within the next couple years. The Metroid Prime Trilogy is still, even though it's very popular, it's still pretty niche, and not a lot of people have played it. I personally played it when I was a kid. I haven't even touched those games in 10 years or so. So I would love to jump back in HD. They don't have to be completely remade from the ground up or anything. Keep those GameCube skins on there and just up-res it to HD, and I will be happy. The game should still look fine. Now, how it plays, though, it's kind of weird. You use the left stick and you stop and shoot, and it wouldn't really fit with today's standards. If they could add the ability to aim with the right stick like a traditional first-person shooter nowadays, I think that would work out really great. And with the pointer controls in Metroid Prime 3, I think those worked really well also. So I think this trilogy would be amazing on Nintendo Switch, and I have a feeling that it's on the way. Since they delayed Metroid Prime 4, I think Nintendo is we gotta give them something. So let's go ahead and give them 3 of the best games of all time, It seems like the perfect strategy to hype up Metroid Prime 4. However, I don't think it's going to end there. Another bold prediction would be to get Metroid Prime 4 teased during this E3. Now, of course, all we got was the logo years ago at this point, and Nintendo did announce that their studio that was working on it is no longer working on it, and that Retro Studios, the developer of the original trilogy, is working on the next Metroid Prime game, as they should have been originally, which I always thought was really weird that they weren't. But apparently, Retro showed Nintendo something special, and Nintendo is excited about it. So we're going to get that game sooner or later, and I'm hoping that it's next year, late next year, of course. I think if Retro was working on something, they might have been working on it for a while, and the studio, they had to have been working on something, because they put out a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze so long ago, and then they didn't do anything for so long besides the port of that game to Switch. So they had to have been working on something during that time, and it was either something that they could have turned into Metroid Prime 4, or my next prediction, which is the Starfox Grand Prix rumored Switch game. Now, this was rumored not at last E3, but the one before that. It was rumored that this game was going to get announced. However, I don't think we were ever supposed to know anything about it because it was still in early development. Retro had to have been working on something, and there was all types of rumors about them working on a horror game, and then there was rumors about this racing Starfox game. I don't think one of those is true, so if I had to sum it all up, I think we're going to get the announcement of Retro's next big game that isn't Metroid Prime 4 at this E3. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Metroid Prime 4 gets teased, because, they announced it so long ago. They have to give us something. Come on, Nintendo. Other than that, I have a few more bold predictions, and that is something Xbox games related. Now, we could get the Halo trilogy on Switch, which would be incredible. As you know, I'm sure, we did almost get a Halo game on Nintendo DS, and the game looked like a ton of fun. I wish that came to fruition. I'm so sad that it didn't, but either way, I'm thinking that the Halo trilogy just might make it to Switch, and it'll be cross-play with the Xbox One versions in the Master Chief Collection. I think that would be an awesome way to bring gamers together. Nintendo, Xbox, they seem to have been getting along really well lately, and I think that would be really cool. Now, I think there's a possibility that Xbox Game Pass could get announced during E3. I don't know if it's going to be at Xbox's conference or during Nintendo Stream, but I think bringing Game Pass to Switch would be a really big deal. However, I think it might be streaming only. I don't think Nintendo would be alright with them putting a whole new store on their hardware. But even if it was streaming only, I wouldn't really mind. It would be really cool playing games like Gears 5 on my Switch, in handheld mode as I'm walking around my house. I think that would be cool. I don't know how much it would appeal to a lot of people, but I think it would be really neat. So I think Xbox and Nintendo have some big plans to announce something else during E3. We already got Cuphead. I wouldn't be surprised if Ori comes next, or the Halo trilogy, or some other Xbox app on Switch. I think that'd be really cool, and it would really speak for how much the game industry is changing and how these companies realize if they work together, they can make more money than they would if they were working all alone. And with Sony being in the lead at the moment, Nintendo and Xbox working together makes a lot of sense. Another bold prediction I have is that we're going to see the Switch Mini announced. Now, Nintendo already said that they don't have any hardware announcements anytime soon, but I don't know, I just don't really believe them. I think the Switch Mini, this rumor and all the information that leaked about it, I think it could have been true. And like I've said before, I think the Switch Mini is going to launch at a $200 or less price point. It's not going to have detachable controllers, there's not going to be any HD rumble, and while it does focus on portable, if you own a Switch dock, you'll still be able to dock it in that dock. You just won't be able to slide out the controller, so you'll have to use a different controller or a different set of Joy-Con. I think that'd be really cool. And since the 3DS is fully phased out at this point, having a SKU of the Switch that focuses on portable mode but still offers the Switch functionality, I think that makes a lot of sense, but be sure to let me know what you think about that. My last bold prediction isn't actually that bold. I think we're going to get some Bayonetta 3 information. Now, we know that Platinum Games is working on Astral Chain, and that comes out this year fairly soon. I think it's August or September, which is awesome. I cannot wait for that game. But I think they just might tease something else about Bayonetta 3, and there's rumors that this is going to be an open world game, which I'm not sure how I feel about. I'm really not that into open world games. I think they add a lot of padding and unnecessary stuff in them, but Bayonetta in an open world actually sounds pretty cool, and I would love to see how that gameplay translates to an open world game. I think that would be really interesting. But that's all I got to say today, guys. Of course, there's the obvious stuff that we're probably going to see, like Fire Emblem, Mario Maker, Ultimate Alliance 3, Daemon X Machina, Luigi's Mansion 3, Astral Chain, Animal Crossing. Man, Nintendo has a lot of awesome upcoming games, and I can't wait to see what they show off at E3. But be sure to let me know your predictions down in the comments section below. What do you want to see during E3? What are your bold predictions? Give me something bold down in those comments, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.